Similarly, we are against any military intervention in Iran. It would have devastating effects on an already volatile region. Diplomacy is the only viable option in resolving the issue of Iran's nuclear program. Likewise, continued engagement and dialogue, even at the point where it seems to fail, is important to prevent Iran from going further astray. Therefore, we are committed to facilitating diplomatic dialogue among the parties. In this regard, we hope that the technical experts meeting to be held in Istanbul next week on the 3rd of July will find enough common ground to resume the talks between P5+1 and Iran, which had initially recommended in another Istanbul meeting last April. On the other hand, there are, of course, issues particularly concerning regional developments, which we don't see eye to eye with Iran. However, we seek to sort out our differences through dialogue, trying to avoid mutual public accusations. Here again, we consider dialogue as the sole way to achieve results. Ladies and gentlemen, the fight against terror continues to be one of the top priority issues in our joint agenda with the United States. There aren't any other two countries that understand, appreciate, and help each other than Turkey and the United States. For that reason, the foreign ministers of our two countries have been co-chairing the Global Counterterrorism Forum, which held its second ministerial meeting in Istanbul 3 weeks ago. The Global Counterterrorism Forum is a strong testament to our continued determination to work together in countering violent extremism in all their forms and manifestations. Furthermore, I can honestly tell you that the US is the strongest supporter of Turkey in its fight against PKK terrorist organization. In that regard, I would like to take this opportunity to reiterate our sincere thanks and gratitude to Senator McCain and Senator Lieberman in their relationship, in their leadership in introducing the Senate Resolution 4886, condemning the PKK and expressing solidarity with Turkey. This resolution is a significant statement that reaffirms our united commitment to addressing the ongoing PKK threat. Unfortunately, the PKK conducts outrageous and indiscriminate attacks targeting our civilian population and law enforcement personnel alike. Just last week, the heinous attack against a military post in Darlıca claimed the lives of 8 Turkish soldiers. I would like to express once again my heartfelt condolences and sympathies to the family members of the fallen and to all our citizens. Turkey will continue to fight against the PKK terrorism with full determination and in absolute compliance with the rule of law. We expect full support in this fight from the international community in line with their international obligations. Distinguished guests, usually the Middle East is regarded as a synonymous with tensions, conflicts, and underdevelopment. But our region has been the center of civilization for millennia, leading to strong traditions of political order in which multicultural environments flourish. In addition to this heritage, we have sufficient economic resources today to make our region a global center of gravity. It's now time to make historic reassessments in order to transform our region into one of stability, freedom, prosperity, cultural revival, and peaceful coexistence. In this new regional order, there should be less violence and fewer barriers between countries, societies, religions, ethnicities, and sects. The road ahead is full of major challenges. Therefore, the international community must do its utmost in helping the people achieve their democratic aspirations. This will make a hugely positive impact at global level in political, economic and security terms. It will also require Turkey and the US to cooperate as closely as ever before to tackle all these challenges and many more that I have not had the chance to even broach, where we also stand shoulder to shoulder, like Afghanistan, Balkans, and Caucasus. Today, as a Turkish citizen, we are proud to be a truly secular, Western-type liberal democracy among 57 nations with predominantly Muslim populations. However, we no longer want to be an exception. The people of the Middle East rightfully deserve a dignified life and the lasting dividends of democracy and peace. To the extent that we work together to meet these challenges, we will not only strengthen our bilateral partnership, but also help maintain and advance peace and security on a global level. As always, along with the United States, Turkey will continue to uphold democratic principles. Thank you.
Okay. We have time for about 10 minutes of questions. Are there any questions? You've already asked. The lady in red, please. Lady in red, please. Wait, could you wait for the microphone?
Okay. Thank you for your remarks, Ambassador. Ezra Alamdar with the Congressional Study Group on Turkey, a program of the former members of Congress. I realized in your speech you didn't mention about Israel. And I was wondering if the current situation with Syria continues to escalate, and given last week's events, the shooting of the jet, and it seems like that it will. How do you foresee that the Turkish-Israeli relations may change given the further escalation of the crisis? Will there be any cooperation between the two nations, or will the severing of ties just continue and against a crisis with Israel? Thank you.
Well, thank you for the question, but may I just ask a question to Wendy? What is this? For what? Just tell me.
You got me there.
Okay. It really scared me, throughout this whole speech. Anyway, well, thank you for this question. I think I won't just go into details of how we see the situation, how we just evaluate our relations with Israel. As a person who has served in Israel as an ambassador, I've been deeply involved in this process. But I will just tell you I will make a very brief remark in saying that the conditions for us, for Turkey, to mend defenses, if we can just phrase this as such, are there on the table. And our the Israeli leaders, and all of them at all walks of life, they know what they are. So I think today Israel has a strong government, as we see it, which is inclusive, which is probably unprecedented in the last few decades. Therefore, we expect them to honor all those conditions. And if they do so, we are ready to move on. That's my, I think, brief answer to this question.
Last question, because you really do deserve a break. Barbara?
Thank you very much, Ambassador. Barbara Slavin from the Atlantic Council and allmonitor.com. I would be interested in your government's evaluation of the current strength of the opposition forces within Syria. We have seen some unprecedented attacks just yesterday and today on installations near Damascus, I believe a Republican Guard facility and also a television station. Mm-hmm. Do you think that this conflict is going to reach a tipping point? And what more is Turkey prepared to do to help the opposition? Thank you.
Well, I think first, we should all know that there is no quick solution. No quick solution to all those problems. I mean, it is a big, big challenge. There are no magical formulas, unfortunately. So we have to keep this in mind and then work together, all together. For the opposition, in order to have a legitimate, reliable opposition, we need that opposition to be inclusive. It should represent all segments of the society because it is a sectarian country. So I think we should be very careful in working with the opposition to advise them that they should take every necessary step in order to diversify the basis of that opposition. And we are, again, we are helping the opposition. We are helping them to structure themselves in the best possible way. And I believe, as you can imagine, the institutional things and some of the structural changes in any country is not easy. I mean, especially if you go and get through democratic ways and means, it's not easy. It takes time. We need help and a unified joint work altogether, collaboration. The international community should be together in helping them. It is not a matter that only interests Turkey. It is, of course, it's an adjacent country, so we have to engage with this whole problem. But we need the support and solidarity from all our international friends and partners and allies. And in that sense, we are very happy that we yesterday witnessed this in this NATO meeting on Article 4 for consultations on this issue. And they have given us, I think, an ironclad support. So we appreciate that. But we should continue this. Together we can find a solution, I believe, to this problem. And you should also make Assad understand that the way he took has a dead end. There is no exit in that way. So I think he should step down immediately and pave the way for a peaceful democratic transition and give the opportunity to its people to enjoy the freedoms that we all been cherishing.